So, here we are once again to read The Return of the Ark Yagami. I mean, technically I
Yes.
named my last video that, but this one came out before that, so...
And this one is actually on fanfiction and not simply a Twitter post.
Indeed.
Although, have you seen his Twitter posts on the 12 Days of Deathmas or whatever?
I did not understand anything of that.
Well, from what I can tell, he sort of reset noted it when he realized that it wasn't 9 golden rings and it was instead 5 golden rings.
Oh.
Because he gets all the way down to 5 and then was like, wait, it's 5 gold rings. And then goes back and does a new 9, a new 8, a new 7, a new 6. 5 golden rings. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Although that reminds me, at work I actually heard like a parody of that song where like, by the end the singer was just complaining at how insanely much stuff she had gotten. Like, I think by the end she was like, do you realize that by now I own? And then she just started listing all the stuff she had gotten, like added up over all the days.
That reminds me of another version of it sung by a guy where he's sending a letter to the person that's been sending them all this stuff. And he's talking about how they've ruined his life. So, shall we get started?
Yes, I suppose. So, do you have the page open?
I do.
Right. So then, before... Darker Yagami! Dark Yagami gets dark! Description: it's Halloween! But what happens when a strange WhatsApp tells Dark to read a certain story?
A strange WhatsApp?
A strange WhatsApp.
What is a WhatsApp?
I don't know. It's Halloween! Halloween is the scariest time of year, because it's the time of year that is scary and ghosts and shit. Everyone cuts...
Oh, Dark, how I missed you.
Everyone cuts pumpkins into like faces, but they don't make them scary enough, because there's always 2 eyes and a mouth, and not like a frog or something.
Like the frog on the front of the bus! With fire instead of a windscreen! I guess the Ark just finds frogs really scary.
Clearly. So, because Dark Yagami is the scariest story of all time, it needs to be 6,666 times scarier for Halloween. So here, you ghost.
Okay, so, wait, it's always 2 eyes in the mouth and not like a frog. Because frogs don't have 2 eyes in the mouth?
Apparently not.
Or does he mean like just the outline of a frog? That's it, I clearly need to carve a pumpkin with the outline of a frog on it. Because that will be the scariest pumpkin ever.
Indeed. One day, and that day was Halloween. Dark Yagami was on his phone eating creepy pasta. Get it? And WhatsApping with sexy laddies and sending them pictures of his man thing, which took a very long time because it was big and hard to download.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the file was big and hard to download.
Then a new message appeared. Hi lol, I am a sexy laddie. So Dark sent her his man thing.
Not a picture, the actual thing.
Yes, he sent her his comic about a swamp monster. Because as we all know, that is what man thing is.
Yes.
Psych, I am really L. Fuck! Dark swore like a talking book with Dark swore like a talking book with naughty words in it like fuck.
I wonder if he's read Kazumi's Epic Quest. That has talking books in it.
That is true. Hey, so now I have your attention. There is a thing that I would like to send you. it's scary, because it's Halloween, you know, and that's the scariest time of year, except Blood Day, which is so scary that they don't put it on the normal calendars, only the X-rated ones.
So, like, porn pinup calendars?
Yeah, except I said that wrong. I mean, that they don't put it on the normal calendars, only the X-rated ones.
Yes, of course, because that makes sense. Why wouldn't it?
Indeed. Also, remember that if Blood is in this, you are totally voicing him.
Yes, I am well aware. I am well aware that I have become Blood's official voice.
Maybe. WhatsApped L back. He sent a pic of it. He sent a pic of his man thing too, but it was so small that Dark thought it was an emoji of a pumpkin, and that made it extra scary.
What? If it's that, I guess it was just the picture, but I don't even get to think about that.
Read this story, and it may make you go poop in your pants like a babby, even though you are not a babby. Whatever, Dark said, and he clicked the link. Not Light and Darker, The Adventures of Darker Yagami.
Wait, so Dark, so Elle just sent Dark this fanfiction?
Well, I suppose what we're seeing from this point on is what Elle sent him, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
It was a hot day and Not Light came home from school. Lemao, I remember this. Dark Lemao, and he put a Lemao emoji to show how hard he was to show how hard he was Lemaoing just then, which was the hardest Lemaoing. Which was the hardest Lemaoing in the history of Lemaos.
Wait, even if it was Mao who was Lemowing? Wait, didn't Mao raffle Mao at one point?
Yes, he did. Or do you? Elle said, and Dark thought he was making fun of people who can't remember good and got angry. Keep reading, my pokey-nosed chum. Just keep reading. He walked in the front door to find his dad Soichiro and his mom. Again, I can't remember her name, sorry. Soichiro's head was a skull, and it was all cracked like an egg when you whack it with a spoon, and bits of brain and blood and yolk was dripping out on fire, and there were evil faces in the fire, and each face had a dozen mermaids in his mouth, but these were the evil sort of mermaids that had vampire fangs, and could sing dead good songs to make boats go crazy and kill people.
That almost sounds like something that could come out of 30H's. Like, his head was a skull that was dripping blood and rain and yolk, and they were on fire, and in the fire there were evil faces, and in every face there was a dozen mermaids which had fangs and were evil and could sing dead good songs to make boats go crazy and kill people. Tell me that that's not something you would hear in 30H's.
You are right. Light's mom wasn't there because she was actually Frank Einstein!
Wait, so he walked into the front door to find his dad, Soichiro, and his mom, only his mom wasn't there.
Again, I thought Frank Einstein was a screwy green monster man, but Peep said he's a doctor, so I guess she's a green doctor man.
No, that's not it at all.
They looked surprised to see him. Mom, Dad, what's going on? Light asked them. Light, we have something to tell you, said his dad while playing with his mustache, which was made of witch's hair.
Which one?
Well, all of them.
Okay, is that what it means when you have witch's hair?
And
I have no idea.
And I suppose you also want to voice Light's mom, because Light's mom is so hardcore and badass and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I am supposed to.
This is your twin brother, Darker Yagami.
This is your twin brother, Darker Yagami.
They both said together and pointed to the guy in the corner of the room. What the fuck? Dark said, except it was words on his phone and not his mouth, which was dry with terror. That didn't happen cause Soichiro had skin and Light's mom wasn't Einstein cause he came back later for the science challenge between Samantha and Knight. The screen said, L is typing a scary message. And then, the scary, that has yet to come, L replied. Darker looked exactly the same as Not Light, except that he had a blood-red hair and was dressed like Mellow, because he had cut Mellow open and used him as cloths after getting all the chocolate out. He got up.
That's actually kind of clever. He was dressed like Mellow, insofar as that he actually looks like Mellow because he is wearing Mellow. That's actually clever.
He got up and walked across the room. Lightning went smash outside, but it was just a coincidence.
No, coincidence.
But it was just a coincidence.
That's a coincidence at a convention.
I suppose. Okay, that was pretty crapping creepy. Dark admits, but then the lightning went smash again, and the lights exploded everywhere, and one went in Dark's cocoa and he had to throw it down the toilet. And he had to throw it down the toilet and get another, but then instead of putting it in the toilet, he poured it on Light's pillow as a troll and did a problem face. Problem?
Point of that, but okay.
Now it was dark, and the wolves were howling in the graveyard that Soichiro had put in the garden to save money, and Mr. Yu's fingers were sliming up and down Dark's back, making slime on his back.
Oh no, it's Slimer.
Keep reading, or the fingers will get slimier. L said, and Dark had to keep reading because these fingers were gross enough already. Because these fingers were gross enough already.
So, L's fanfiction is causing this weird stuff to happen. So it must be a possessed fanfiction. So this story must be a creepypasta.
Well, it already said that it was a creepypasta at the beginning.
No, it was that Dark was eating creepypasta.
Yes. Hi, bro, I'm Darker, he said, spraying blood out of his poisonous fangs and offered Mellow's hand to shake. How could you not tell me about this? Not Light Vampire screamed like mad.
We sent him to a top-secret orphanage in Wales. It's a town in England, where he would learn to be the next L. We can't tell anyone because it's top secret and Kira might find out and Kira might try to kill him.
Frank Einstein said, Ian, I couldn't make this creepier.
You could have made whales scarier.
Light was crazy and punched an old lady so hard she fell over. So there was a random old lady in the house and Light punched her. Because he was crazy. Also, wait, isn't this supposed to be not Light? So where did Light come from?
That's downstairs in the house.
I'm going to my room! Come on, Slayu! Ian, like Sayu, but like the band Slayer, he said, and Slayu, Light's evil sister, lol, followed him upstairs. So, do you want to be Sayu, Slayu as well?
I'm sorry, Not Light. I wanted to tell you about Darker, but Satan put an evil curse that made it so you said his... Right, so that... made it so if you said his name, you died. said Darker is now dead.
Well, I
But
suppose...
she just said darker
Yes,
twice.
That's okay. Not Light replied. You're my sister and I know how much you hate me.
Thanks, Light.
They hugged. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. It was darker. Come on, Darker, I've got something to show you. Not Light said, and they went into the room. Light's parents had made Light's coffin into a double coffin. I know what you're thinking, Psychos. There's lots of slashing with knives, that is. If I catch the psychopath that writ this no-good garbage, he'll put his head into a fox's mouth. Dark screamed, and the bats screamed with him.
Is that the fox that did well in school and then went to college?
I suppose, maybe. Oh ho ho ho. Elle said back like an evil Santa, even though it's too early for Christmas. Santa and Satan have the same letters. Is Santa like Satan, or did one rip the other off, like in those movies you see in the grocery store, like Larry Potter? Did Satan give him his name so peeps would think he was Santa and let the creepy red man in their house if it's the last thing they ever do? Yes, that is what happened. You are completely right, the Ark Yagami. You have figured it out.
He clearly has been watching a lot of Santa slasher movies.
Yes. Read more and you will find out. But I'm skipping to the good bit, Dark said, and he went to the lesbians. Meanwhile, back in Slayu's room, Slayu and Misa were both in their underwear. Sayu was wearing a lot of tattoos and piercings and skulls on each chest, and Misa was wearing a bikini with glitter on it that said boob. Misa let her hair down and said to Slayu, so should I...
You be Misa.
You look so hot in a scary way. Sayu leaned over and began making out with Misa in a scary way. Quickly she unbuttoned Misa's bikini and it fell to the floor, leaving her topless. Sayu then took her own skulls off and she was naked underneath. Misa squeaked as Sayu began moving down and Vampire bit her neck. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Slayu cussed and went to the door. She opened the door and it was... Darker! He looked happy and said, My sister is a lesbian! Again, it's the future now, so peeps are happy about lesbians and gay peeps.
Okay.
Well, nice that social progress has happened. Sayu realized she was naked and slammed the door shut in a scary way.
Bunny duck off, you perv! Frank Einstein and Soichiro should never have adopted you back!
She screamed.
I'm sorry, Misa, but we'll have to do this some other time.
Said Sayu.
Wait, hold on. So it was Sayu who was wearing a bunch of tattoos and piercings. And it was Saya who was making out with Misa. And then suddenly it was Slayu who cussed and went to the door. And then it was Sayu that... So basically, Slayu was hanging out at the corner while Sayu and Misa were making out. While Misa was telling Slayu that she looked hot. And then while the two of them were making out, Slayu went over to the door. So there's 3 people involved right now. Sayu is still around, there's also Slayu, and Light is randomly going around punching out old laddies. The sad thing is, these errors just make the story even funnier.
Indeed. Misa winked back and said, I hope so, and grinned. She took her clots and put them on, and now she was a vampire, so she flew out the window screaming so no one would see.
Well, as we know, going through a window screaming is the most stealthy thing you can do in this universe.
Indeed. That was still pretty good. Dark chunter that went to more lesbians. If he had checked his WhatsApp notifications head of scene. Or was it? Colon dash open square bracket. Colon dash open square bracket. Slayu and Misa were leaning against the fridge. Slayu and Misa were leaning in. Why am I having trouble saying this? It shouldn't be that hard to say. Slayu and Misa were leaning against the fridge, sexing really hard, and Misa was screaming because Magnetario's antlers made of upside down Bibles kept poking her.
Antlers made of upside down Bibles?
That makes super sense.
Yeah, upside down Bibles are really, really pointy.
Well, I guess it's meant because some Bibles have crosses on the front, so upside down Bibles would have an inverse cross, which is like a symbol for Satanism or something, which is scary, maybe.
Or something.
Anyway, not line from Slayu here, so...
97%!
Slayu gasped, stepping up her game. I'm not going to make it. Misa squeaked.
98%!
Slayu gasped. They were rubbing so hard they were making lightning, and the lightning was spelling out scary words like scary and scared and I am a ghost in the sky, and 17 Boy Scouts died of scariness.
I am a ghost is a singular word.
Yes. You know, suddenly this reminds me of this Halloween episode of Phineas and Ferb once with a bunch of ghosts floating in the foreground, including saying many scary things, including, I'm not a ghost, I'm a sheet that lives.
That's wonderful.
OMGGG! Cyber Takara got out of her sex meter, which was like the goggles from Dragon Ball Z. It's over 99%! She shouted in a scary way, like in that video that everyone on the internet licks for some reason except Scary. We are at 100% sexing, Misa said between scary yips.
I know!
Said Sayu.
Now we must take it even higher!
And she put a tattoo-covered hand on Misa's chesty bumps. Oh no, this is too good, she screamed. This is like 100.9% sexing now. If you don't stop, you will kill me. But Slayu didn't hear in time. They went to 101% sexing and Misa's chesty bits lit up like a nuclear bomb. There was a bang and then sex waves flew out with bits of blood and stuff and wiped everyone out. Darker was ripped apart like a skyscraper made of spider webs on tornado day. Light's mom went splat on the wall. Everyone else also died.
Hold on a second. They defeated Cyber Takata in the original story by making her hit 101%, and she didn't explode like a nuclear bomb. She just exploded.
Also, what is this nuclear bomb business? I have never heard of such a thing.
I know! They should have only lit up like nuclears. Did I really just say lit up?
That you did.
Wow.
Anyway, there is a line. Said... Blood! Holy creeps! Dark said like his mom. Getting scarred? El spewed? Are your panties full of toilets? Like whatevs, they are dry as a desert. They are dry as a dessert. The only peep who's getting scared. The only peep who's getting scarred here is you. Keep reading, Elle said, but actually he hadn't read anymore, so he was just guessing that it got dead scary. But it did! What happened? Theoseph said, looking at the big bang. Get it? Bang like sexing, but also like explosion, but also like the theory show, cause Shelter is also dead now.
So he randomly inserted Sheldon into the fanfiction just to kill him?
Clearly. Except no, this isn't Sheldon, this is Shelter,
Right.
the Pokemon.
Shelter, the Pokemon. I don't think that, no, they can't use explosion. Oh
Anyway.
boy, this line is ridiculous.
I have done it! Wait, I have done it! I killed Darker Yagami with his one weakness, less beans!
Blood said.
And now I have won!
To celebrate, he turned on all the blood faucets on planet Blood, and soon the whole universe was full of blood, and everyone died except Blood, who was safe from the blood banana poisons. The scary end! Oh fuck off, that wasn't scary at all! Dark typed, and he had to press L a lot. To type all those L's. You win. L typed bake. You should phone L to tell me that it wasn't scary. I will, or my name isn't Dark Yagami! And he dialed L. Hello, this is Watery, how may I be of a servant? Watery screamed into the phone like a crazy screamer. Yes, I would like to talk to L to tell him he's a chump who's scared of babby stories. I'm truly sorry, my wonderful knife-eared boyo, but L? What? L is dead! Ah ha 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 ha, said the ghost on WhatsApp, and then Dark said that it wasn't WhatsApp. It was the Talk to Dead dude's note! And then blood started coming out of his phone! And it poured everywhere, even into his pants! He swimmed, but there was too much blood and he couldn't breathe! And then he knew...
Breath.
Yeah. But there was too much blood and he couldn't breathe! And then he knew... The story was true! 'Cause he was not Dark Yagami! He was... Darker Yagami! Boo! The scariest end! So as if this was too scary. If it was, imagine that a fairy came and the blood was all a dream, but it wasn't really!
What? What? What was that? What even was that?
Well, it was just what I needed after the crappy day I've been having. That's what it was.
What sort of twist ending was that? I'm not even sure what just happened. I really don't know what just happened.
I don't know, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was just...
No, I mean, of course it was a horrifying story of horror!
I know, I think I'm going to die from all the scariness.
Yes, indeed. That was the scariest thing I have ever read.
Truly, Dark, you are the scariest dude, and you art also sometimes rude, and you perhaps haveth a pet fish called Rexing, and loveth to write about the sexing. Is it sad that I could actually recite that stupid poem from memory?
He hadeth all the looks and smarts. he will live forever in our hearts. Except he aren't dead, so he won't.
That is one of the best things to come out of that story, and I'm not sure why I feel that way. It's just
Well, because it was the first thing that inspired me to use background music in this story, although the background music was playing so low it could barely be heard at all.
I could hear it. I thought it worked well.
Yes, the super tragic music playing over the super tragic scene that was completely pointless. Like, nothing was accomplished in that chapter.
I know, it's like, and they had Dark's funeral, and then he got life noted back to life.
and then everything was back to normal.
Even with all the hurricanes and all the flooding from people crying and the ducks stealing people's bread.
Yep.
Nope, that just wasn't relevant anymore.
At all.
Not in the slightest.
So, that was a thing.
That was a thing.